The story that I'll be telling this afternoon, this is the adult story, and the title of the book it's coming from is The Necklace and Other Stories by Guy de Maupassant. The story actually, the title of the story that I'm telling is also entitled The Necklace. Mathilde Lasalle and her husband were very poor, and they lived in an apartment. And Mathilde always thought of herself as wanting to be of another class other than what she was from. And they lived in a shabby house that had run-down furniture. The walls were worn down. They had very, very little means. Her husband always wanted to try and make her happy. And one day he came home and he had an invitation in an envelope that he had gotten to attend the public education ball. They had been invited by the Minister of Public Education and his wife to attend the ball. The ball was going to be held on January 18th. Well, her husband thought she would be totally excited about getting the invitation. But in actuality, she was not. She actually was more depressed after she got the invitation. So her husband wanted to know what was wrong with her. And she said, well, I don't have anything to wear. All the other women are going to be there in their finest attire, and I have no fine attire to wear. Her husband suggested that she wears a dress that she had that she wears when she goes to the theater. And she said, no, I can't wear that. I need a new dress. And he thought about it, and he said, well, how much do you think a new dress would cost? And she said, about 400 francs. And in American dollars, 400 francs is about 67, somewhere between 63 and $67. So he had been saving money up to buy a brand new rifle. And it was just about the amount of money that she would need for a dress. So he gave her the money to buy the dress, and she was able to buy the dress. A few weeks before the ball, she was still not very, very happy, even though she had the dress. So when he asked her, he said, well, what's wrong now, Mathilde? And she said that I still need jewelry. I have no jewelry to wear with the dress. So he said to her, maybe your friend, Madame Forrester, had some jewelry that she could loan you. Why don't you ask her? So Mathilde said, okay, I'll ask her and see what she has. So when she went to see Mrs. Forrester, or Madame Forrester as she's referred to, she let her have whatever she wanted. She showed her all the jewelry she could choose from, all the gemstones and everything. And Mathilde decided upon a diamond necklace that would look very nice with her elegant dress. And her friend, Madame Forrester, had no problem with loaning her the diamond necklace. So the day of the ball, when she got all dressed up, she was actually the most beautiful woman at the ball. She was dressed elegantly. She looked very nice with her necklace on. Just looked very good. And all the men at the ball wanted to find out who she was, to be introduced to her, and they all wanted to dance with her. And her husband had no problem with that. He wanted her to have a good time. So they stayed at the ball until about 4 a.m. in the morning. They grabbed their jackets. They ran outside to try and get a carriage to take them back to their apartment. But they were not successful in getting the carriage. So they ended up starting to walk. And as they walked, they saw a cab along the side of the road, and they were able to catch the cab home. Well, when Mathilde got home, she was looking at herself in the mirror at how beautiful she looked. But the necklace was not there. The necklace was missing. So she's frantic. She's telling her husband, I don't know where the necklace is. I lost it someplace. Can you help me find it? And then she's thinking about, what am I going to tell my friend, Madame Forrester, if I don't find the necklace? So her husband came up with an idea that maybe if we don't find it, we'll replace it. And then we won't return it right away. We'll try and see if we can find it first. But then we'll also try and look around and see if we can find a place that we can purchase one from that is like the one she had. So they look every place. Her husband backtracks and goes back over every place they went the night of the ball, from when they left home until they came back home. But Mahilde said that she had the necklace before she left because she remembered touching it. Anyway, after that, they went to all the different jewelers in the area trying to see if any of the jewelers had sold that necklace to Madame Forrester. Well, they found out no one had sold it to her. One jeweler did say that he had sold the case that the necklace was in. So eventually what they ended up doing was finding a jeweler and buying another necklace. But in order to do so, they had to borrow money from all of their friends to be able to buy a necklace. So they went and they borrowed the money and they found a place and they bought the necklace. So Mahilde went over to see her friend Mrs. Forrester and return the necklace. Well, Mrs. Forrester was kind of upset because Mahilde hadn't returned the necklace within a short time. It took her a longer time. She didn't acknowledge, though, to Mrs. Forrester that they had gone out and bought another one as a replacement. And Mrs. Forrester did not look in the case when it was returned. She just put it up. Well, weeks and months passed, and they were extremely poor now because her husband was working so hard just to replace all the money that he had borrowed over the time period. So as he worked hard and she worked hard, and one day when Mahilde went out for a walk on a Sunday, she ran into her friend Madame Forrester, and Madame Forrester didn't even recognize her because she was so run down. But Mahilde said, "Jean," and Madame Forrester didn't know who she was, and she said, "Jean, it's me. I'm Mahilde." So then she said, "Oh, Mahilde." So then they start talking, and she said, finally Mahilde told her that she had lost the necklace and that she had to replace it, and that's why it took her a while to return it. And the reason why she looked so bad is because she had been working so hard to repay all the people that they had borrowed money from. Well, in the long run, Madame Forrester told her, "You didn't buy me a brand new necklace, did you?" And they said, "Yes, we did." She said, "Yes, we did." And she said, "Well, it wasn't even a real necklace. I only paid like 500 francs for it, which is roughly about $84 in American money." And Mahilde couldn't believe that it was like they had gone through all this. The moral behind the story, which is not included in the book, is that it's better sometimes to just tell somebody what happened and deal with the consequences then, than to assume how they will handle a situation based upon a mistake that you made. It's a very good story, and I would recommend it to somebody else to read. Thank you.